Hey, hi everybody. It's Wednesday, April 27th, somehow. And we're going to do track feedback. And we're going to start off with not this audio, but a special thing I just got from DJ Waters. Monitor screen down, phone off. We're going to do a quick little Ableton thing first before we get into track feedback. So let me stop my background music that I've been listening to. Doink. And check it out. So we got Shepherds, Matt Schultz, Morten, Mindbender, Ben Hunt. Awesome. I got all your tracks loaded up, everybody. We got some masters from Alex B that Mindbender did. And I wish we could chat and hear about your last gig because it sounded like you did a cool show. We just had in Pittsburgh, we just had an Ableton meetup where we did our first in-person synth jam on Monday night. We plugged up we had a whole table with 8 stations and people brought gear and plugged it in. And then I was running sound on all the channels and we recorded it and had people jam where it would be one person starts a drum beat and then 2 or 3 other people would come in to play a bass line and a mono synth lead and then maybe a pad or something like that. So we were sort of building tracks with a combination of people. One dude came with a hand drum, like a cajon kind of style thing that we mic'd up so we had live drums going on top. And then another guy brought a Buchla synth. He was just patching crazy shit. It was really fun. We recorded it too, so I'm not going to play any of that right now and just went off on a tangent. What I wanted to start by saying is let's close Discord. DJ Waters uploaded a couple of kick drums in this production talk channel. It's up there. So I grabbed those and played with them because I wanted to hear them, but I didn't really want to. I was trying to loop it in Discord and it didn't work. So let me close that so we don't get glitchy. So here's what I did. I downloaded these 2 samples, right? There's one. And clearly everybody wants to know, what does that sound like when you loop it? So, and here's a mini little tutorial. Hey, Mr. Melvis, we're going to play your track first too, because I know you got to go. So I took just the simpler instrument, MIDI instrument, simpler, dropped a sample in there, made a quick MIDI clip with 4 kick drums with long MIDI notes. And to make it sound right, if it's like this, I mean, that's kind of okay, but you're not getting the reverb layers. So I opened it up to have 8 voices because that's a long tail. I turned off retriggering because I want to have a fresh sample every time and cranked up the release time on the amp envelope so that every time you play a clip, Simpler is playing the whole audio file underneath the new one and you get that continuation of reverb. So that's sample number 1. Right? Isn't that fun? And then sample number 2, same thing. I actually just duplicated the instrument and changed the audio file. Nice long tail. Now, here's where it gets to be fun. You know the timing is a little bit off on the attack of this one? It's bucka-whoop, 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 bucka-whoop. So I thought, I'm just going to synchronize these by feel. I turn my global quantizing off. Started launching the other one kind of off beat a little bit. And then I was like, well, I can't really hear what's going on. Let's split these apart. And all of a sudden, everything became clear and I started getting this. Alex B is here, good. That's about how far I got with that track today. And I picked 138 BPM because PivClip put up something about the virus synth, I think, making instant psytrance kick and bass. Look at that low end, oh my God. DJ Waters, happy birthday to your dad. So I tapped out 138 BPM when I had PivClip's track. I wanted to hear that and just see what, I wanted to loop it and see what tempo it was at. And then I thought, DJ Waters at 138, here you go. And I like them when they're off a little bit. So that was the preface for today's show. Now let me just get my display coming up, and we're going to hear Mr. Melvis with New Walking Bass, version 2. Oh, vital. What did I say? Virus? Yeah. Let's bring up the level on here a little bit. The bass line sounds better. I think the mix is feeling good. The piano is in a nice space and it stays comfortable the whole time. And the guitars come in on top of the piano and it just feels like nice, you know? Those snare taps are great, nice and clear. The cymbal crash sounds nice. It sounds natural, like realistic. And I can hear some detail in the guitar. I mean, maybe you could take the piano down a little and the guitar up a little, but like, I'm thinking about this as a live sound engineer, where at this part, I would have the piano up. When the guitarist is like stepping to the front to solo, you know, I'd tuck the piano down and push the guitar up a little bit. So if you want to get into automation on the instruments and pulling them into focus based on what time something is happening in the track, I think that'd be the next stage, but I don't think it's necessary on this. Awesome signal right there. I knew that was coming. See, that's what you want. And then here you just like tuck the piano just down and just like, basically because you're a sound man, you're bored. You're like, okay, I'll push the guitar up. Yeah, man, this is sounding great. Totally done. I got no comments. No comment. Yep, drum break and a squeal, perfect timing. All the signals and the timing of the, like the song structure is really nice. We're out 3 minutes deep, totally jamming. Oh, interesting. You using utility to automate stereo width of the piano when the guitar steps back. That's cool. And I like this spacey solo. I know I'm talking on top of it, but that snare drum shuffle is so Steely Dan. And the kick drum feels good too. It's great. The bass is nice and big, and the kick has just a little. Are you fading this down? You are. What's that one weird note? Right there. Down, 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 down. It comes again right here, right? Do 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 do. I don't know. Maybe you clammed one little note with like a finger glitch or whatever, but that's cool. That sounds done. That sounds really good. And I'm curious if you can get that, or somehow we can get that out for licensing, you know, like someplace where you can get a upload connection with people who are searching for tracks like that, because that sounds like commercially usable for soundtrack stuff. Shepherd's track listen to again and again. Yeah, nice one. So Alex B, we got a couple of masters. Let's review, and oh, good thing my EQs are flat. That would suck if I had my EQs all tweaked. There we go. I'm liking the stereo so far. Whoa, nice kick. Wow. Wow. Pulling out the details in the sound. Drum breaks coming clear. Can I get a promo copy of this? Yeah, it's nice and deep. And wide. Deep and wide is good. Got the DJ Waters car test seal of approval. Ooh, the pitch shift bass. Yeah, I think this will totally take people along with you. Right in here. Yeah, nothing feels rushed. That's a really good way to say it for the developments in the music here. I like that growly thing. 350. Secretly turning it up. This is what I would do on the crowd too. I'd get to this breakdown and just subtly raise the whole level so when the kick drum comes back in, they feel it louder. And pray that your sub doesn't cut out. That's awesome. There's like a wah sound in that bass synth, like wow, wow, down low. Yeah, man. A little bit of a crackle in there, like something kind of crunchy. Yes, man. Totally working. I love it. I love that thing that's poking up. Wait, going back, hold on. That. That's a great sound. Risers for Steve, yeah. So I know what the hell's going on. That mid-range detail and the sounds in the mid-range are so cool. What is that? It's like the perfect thing of just a little too loud and weird, but not very often. So it's like, what? Like a sub-melody or something. Very cool. Epic, man. 6 minutes, totally in the flow. It's the sub. And the basic chord progression too. You could literally play this with like a bass cello and a bow and get that tone. And bells. How would you construct this acoustically? Yeah, man. Burn that filter at the end. Listen to that. That is perfect. Definite claps. That last synth sound is the cherry on top. Super cool, man. Put that out. That is legit. Resonant spikes, right? Okay, now next up, another master. Oh my gosh. Here we go. I can already hear the Mindbender low end work. The kick drum feels longer and bigger. Nice reverb.
Do you think it'd be alright if I could just stay here tonight? I feel so safe here in your arms. Don't let go. My heart's racing.
Yeah.
My hands are shaking. Don't let go. Don't let go.
This one fits nicely with the other one, having long bass notes, feeling like of a 4-chord cycle. And then the techno thing, and then that also that chime or the big gong sound, like kind of the elements stylistically fit together, which is good. So would this be a release with these two together, or is this for something else? And the pad is like,
Don't let go.
yep, done. I agree, Matt Schultz. I like the arpeggiator coming in. Oh Matt, I just noticed that the arps right here, like, yeah. It has like a 3-hump shape. good place for a break. That was nice having the vocal right before this this gap. I like how the piano ended up too. I remember we talked about that a couple of times with the piano tone and velocity and stuff. Oh, manual notes, no arpeggiator. And back in the drop. Cool, man. I'm gonna skip through all the rest of this one because I'm just realizing we got like 2 hours worth of tracks to play, and this is sounding so good. I'm sure it's gonna keep going, right? So those are manual? And the laugh, yeah, that's awesome. The synth again. Yeah, it's like calm and peaceful and has a nice heavy bottom at the same time. Oh, nice long outro, cool. It's an arpeggio without an arpeggiator. Guys, ambient loop ready to go right here for you. Cool. That sounds excellent. Really good job, both of you guys. That sounds good. They're doing construction outside my house again. I'm waiting for DJ Waters with the 8D stuff, man. I can't wait to hear that in here. So next up, Pipclit's doing a static corn little psytrance type thing. And this is like version 5 in 20 minutes. I looked at like, oh, new post. Oh, version 2. Oh, changelog. Oh, version 4. Oh my God, version 5 already. All right, I'm gonna put this up a little bit. And Alex B, let us know when we can grab copies of those somehow, because those tracks are gonna, I think they're gonna show up in some mix sets. This bottom is down there, 35. I love Pipclit's production. This sounds so good. I can feel the kick like lower, like physically lower than my headphones, like in my legs. Yeah, Matt, I think this is 138. Nice gap. Those effects and the panning. Decreasing frequency wall of sound. All right, Mr. Melvis, thanks for hanging out. See you Saturday. I'm curious to hear this lead. I haven't listened to this track yet. I saw the notes about that. The Goa lead coming in. ear candy. Yeah, Matt, the stretchy sounds, they really sit in the mix nice. Yeah, I knew it was coming. I was like, ooh, 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 whoa. I could use a lead synth soon, I think. A little, like, melody element, maybe? Okay, that's the first place I felt like something should have changed that isn't here. I mean, the mix is technically amazing and the sounds are really cool. Around 4 minutes, I was ready for like that. Something new to come in.
If the answer is no, I may encourage some drug use.
Oh, Shiva Chandra, yeah. Cool. All right, here it comes. This is amazing. It has like that infinity sound. Not sure how to put that into words, but like no matter how much, it sounds like no matter what sounds happen, they're all loud. Like there's infinite space for every sound to just be really big. I like the little reverse bass thing that comes into that drop, like whoop. And the chimes, like ching, ching. That shit, it's like a little bit distorted. I like the cymbal too. It's almost like a crash, like a actual pair of cymbals in an orchestral crash. Kick bass and Goa is all vital. I gotta start playing with that. These swoops are great. Wow. Cool. You know what I'm going to recommend? Almost literally take like a minute from here. Where is that? 340. and add it onto the end part.
Fact, if the answer is no.
And somehow get this vocal.
You be truthful, I will judge. Fact, if the answer is no, I may encourage some drug use.
That's cool that it's a big, deep, silent drop. What I'm trying to get to is this lead coming in right here at 448. What would happen if you had just that lead sneaking in at 340? Like, take that lead and bring it in a minute earlier. Leave the vocal part where it is, because this main drop at 330 is too soon for the vocal thing. But I think if this lead started coming in, like after that big breakdown, it would prevent a moment of like, wait, you know, because I wasn't bored, but I was like, oh, okay, we're repeating the same thing, and I was like clearly waiting for something else to happen right there. So I do not think it's too soon if you bring in that lead a little bit earlier. And also at the end of the track, I'm gonna skip. This is really full with all the ear candy and bass and beat and everything. So I think you could go here at that part. Now take this part that feels kind of empty and take that minute or 45 seconds and put it at the end of the track so we have a longer ride out, and then finish with this with no hi-hats. You know, strip down the hi-hats at the ending and keep the effects and everything else the same. Pretty much that's all I would do to it. And that's not even deleting anything. It's just kind of scooching things a little bit. And as always, oh my God, the freaking sound quality sounds mastered and done already. That's totally playable. Really good, really fun to listen to. And what was it? 5 hours old, okay. Sizzle and Grizzle, version 1, Shepherds. Yeah, okay, here you go. Good name, Sizzle and Grizzle. Yeah, Alex, man, people are slacking off instead of being in feedback. Let's put this up a little bit. I think actually Wednesday is not always as busy. I think Saturday is a little busier, but then both of them, the replays are like 50 people on the replay, so, you know. All right, Pivplit, compressor on the master channel. I mean, I believe you, but damn, it sounds good. Okay, Shepherds. I'm happy with it so far. Low end is cool. The grind, the buzz. But. This has kind of a paper feel, like. I like how the cymbals came up. Oh, good. I like it that the I'm gonna go back here. There's a wah wah wah. The sound that drops out right here makes it nice and empty. The sound was like wah wah wah, and now we can hear more of like these little guys up around 1 and 2K. Yeah, the sound design layers are totally incredible. I'm feeling the breaks, the gaps, the movement. Oh, 1176 on the master channel can make wonders. What was that distortion right here? That. And then the one, that gap is super funny. It's like, here's the sounds, whoomp, bonk, like right in your face. That's amazing. I can only imagine how that would sound on a big system where you're in the emptiness and it goes whoom with just one kick drum beat. That was cool. Good, drum layers coming in. I'm thinking like, you know, on the mastering or the next versions, like the bass could maybe be a little bigger and the middle be a little less scratchy. So I'm just gonna EQ for kind of fun over here. That's a little bass up. Okay, now I'm back to flat on the middle. Here's mid boost. And cut. Around 750. And there's back to flat on the mid-range. Something about the scratchy. I'm looking to like find a little bit lower on that. Okay, now we're back to flat. Oh, good. No EQing so far. Yeah, watch out from like, 400 to 800 with that scratchy mid sound. And there's like one sound that should be there and some other stuff that should not be there. You know what I mean? So go to the low part of the bass kick drum sound or whatever and dip out, 600 hertz or something like that. And then take one of the scratchy paper kind of sounds and put it up right there so they work together, but you don't have an overload of it. That was great. That was great. One more time. It stops and goes upside down like whoop, whoop, boom. And reversing a bass sound is such a good transition. Heard a little pitch drift. Oh, that was cool. So at this part, something is pitching down and then it stops. Here it's like... And I like how that section just stopped clean without a big... It just quickly happened, Oh, cool. I just heard a rhythmic detail I didn't notice before. There's a little... high frequency sound is going that. $1.5K. That is so cool. Having subtle little micro rhythms inside a straight beat that are doing a little breakbeat pattern is really interesting. It's like a broken, like a laundry machine or something where it's like that's great. Super good. All right, arrangement's perfect. Sound design is really good and feels that cascading layers of things coming and going all the time. I loved some of the transitions, especially the bass beat backwards. So basically, get into the mix levels. I would like a little bit of a heavier bump on the bottom because this is a very grinding. But like the kick could be a little bit more of like boop, boop. Maybe because we were just listening to like Mindbender and Pivclip where they're at 40 hertz, like boop, boop. So I was feeling like the bass was a little light on this compared to what was on before. It's not a good reference comparison, but maybe a little more low end on the kick drum, and then play around with the mid-range stuff. And of course, listen on different speakers than me and headphones. They are changing in appearance. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Let's move on. So this is a Mindbender new track, right? Benzodiac. Solar Eclipse. Oh, this is a guitar track, right? And I just remembered there's a solar eclipse on Saturday. I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, so you're mixing some rock. Yeah, totally agree. That could be done at the mastering, of course. These guitars sound good for so far. The vocal sounds low. Shepherd, you're welcome. It's nice to see you back. We missed you for like a week or something. Okay. This part's great. The wall of guitar feel, the lead, the sides, and the bass are all good. This vocal should be like 10 times louder out front, so big. I hear that delay on the vocal, that's good. Like when I tune into it, I can get the vocal, but for this style, I would really push the vocal way out front. And you could take some low end out of the kick drum. That's a very big kick drum. And the kick is almost too clear. It's doing what it should do. You can feel it and hear it. But for this style of music, it can be a lighter, kind of a harder, smaller kick drum and have the vocal be bigger. Just basically take the shift of like bass and mids and go like mids up and like bass down, you know? Oh, here's where we kick some ass. Foot up on the monitor. Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, cool. One comment I have is that lead guitar panning left and right. For me, that throws off the image of the band. Mixing rock music is very tied to people who are on stage playing the music. And sometimes there's sounds that can be panned, but for me, like the image of the lead guitar, I'm almost seeing like a guitarist on stage burning that lead. And as a sound man point of view, I wouldn't pan a lead while a solo is happening, because if somebody happens to be standing in the stereo field at the show, their head is going to be looking at that guitarist, and I would want the lead to stay in the position where the guitarist is. Whoops, just running out of guitar. I guess that's my taste, but you know, for electronic music with an abstract thing like a synth lead, it can sound cool, and the way you presented this solo just sonically sounds really cool. But it makes it feel like a Ween record. You know the band Ween, where they're actually like trying to make you trip with their music? For this track, I don't think you need to pan that guitar lead in a motion. I would just put it in one place and leave it there, but DJ Waters. Oh, he's spending too much time. But yeah, I was like, where's Mr. Melvis on this? And shoop. All right, so that's not an ending. Pretty good though. Overall, that's playable. You could listen to it and be like, damn, that's a good band. What I can get from that is that the band is cool and the music is good. It's a good song. Arrangement's fine. Sound design, you know, the instruments and everything is great. You could take the kick drum, focus it more at like 90 hertz rather than down in the 50s, and just try having it be like a, you know, hard and tight, but not like a deep boomy kick. Definitely bring the lead vocal up louder. That's the first thing I thought that really should be louder. And just those two changes. Nothing else is really necessary. That's what they said in my mixing course. Imagine a band on stage and place the elements in the stereo field and then run up to them and go, play that song, yeah, I want. No, don't make requests like that. All right, Mind Bender, pretty good though. And I think it's interesting to hear how you translate your idea of electronic music. I mean, how you translate this mix after hearing your electronic music. I'm like, I could sort of hear how he's putting that in place. So maybe one more mix, then it could be done. And I'm not actually quite sure. I'm not sure what this side project is, if you're part of this band or if you're playing something or if you're doing this as a mix project, and how is it going to get published? Do you have like 10 more tracks like this, or what's the rest of the picture of where this fits in? Because honestly, to tell you the truth, I can't really tell you right or wrong on the vocal until I understand what this project is. So if it's an album for a band with a lead singer in the front, then yes, the vocal goes up louder. If that's not the case, maybe it doesn't need to go up louder. Okay, next up, Ben Hunt, Dark Star, which is a Grateful Dead song. Is that my USB thing? Little USB crosstalk, okay? Here we go. I like the bass line rhythm. Boo, boo. I like these hi-hats a lot. I like the gap. There's a gap before the snare right here. So you feel more drawn into the snare when it hits. That's really cool because the hi-hats are fast in between, and then there's a little break gap. See, now the lead is panning a lot, and it feels super cool because I'm not thinking of a sweaty guitar player. Ben, your shit jumped up a level, man. All right, 140, I could use a cymbal crash. I'm not gonna rewind, but I was like, would not be wrong. Kick and bass are awesome. Lead synth, underneath layers. There's like a buzz. The snare reverb is cool too. It's like a pre-delay with a short sustain. That's a good sound. Good vocal. Cool. Is that a wooden flute? It sounds like a flute, like a wood flute. Not sure what the vocal is saying, which is cool. Yeah, cool delay. A flanger. back to here. I think the vocal could be a little bit louder, the sample. Okay. I think you should cut out the bass line after 345. Right here, shook bass line cut. Or at least before the drop, cut out like 1 bar of the bass line or maybe 2 bars of the bass line, just to have a little bit of an emptier, lower, or more empty space before the bass line comes back in. Tiny detail, but I think it would help. Don't run. That's what I first thought. I was like, is it don't run? Or no run, don't go, don't run. All right, good. I like those deep messages that like when you're out somewhere and you're like in space, then you hear this voice telling you like, don't run, don't run. It could mean so many different things to different people. And it's not cheesy like, I mean, it's just not cheesy. Yes, get Ben Hunt on wax. Delays are great. Taking control of the 115 dark disco zone. That bass line is the whole time doing that. It's great. Yeah, Ben, this is new? Like seriously, the only thing I really wanted was just cut the bass line out right here. That's me on the EQ. And then bring it back in. Other than that, I don't know, maybe put the vocal up a little louder if you want. Not a problem. And if anybody else has any mix notes or something, fire away. Yeah, everything is sitting nice. Ow, what did I just do? What am I doing to my head? Dinats, another new track. EQ flat, and here we go. Not sure if this is going to drop louder, so let's keep it here for now. I like that bass sound. Wow. Got a little fuzz in the mix. Okay, now I'm going to push it up. This one, the kick and the bass and everything on the low end feel like they're nicely together. The top end of the bass line could, I hope maybe it gets a little filtered or louder or something. Yup, instant Dinats. That bass line rhythm is so good. So right there, like around 500, 700, trying to hear the bass line louder. And here comes the kick again. So I would EQ the upper part of that bass line louder because it's so cool. And there's EQ flat. Get funky. Saying get funky. Oh no, falling in love. Nice. Falling into. Perfect. It has a bit of a techier kind of feel. It's not quite so much of a disco house. The bass line feels almost like techno, but the hi-hats feel like the bouncy house sound. Like that. This is so good. So one thing I think is to filter the bass line open and have that do some changes over time. Maybe it'll still happen. And the vocals are nice and spacious. They're like filling up the top, but there's only like a little piece, which is important. And there's like the mid-range sort of disco sample. Yeah. Kind of taking me into space. I like it. It's nice that the vocal clips faded down, and now we have this other sound rising up. It's like a slow cross. Solid. Donats always has that, like this eighth note feel, like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and with the mid-range samples. There's something happening on every eighth note. I think that's how I would describe it, and the up and down thing. So this bass line, if you could like open up a filter, make it really buzzy and nasty or something to get the middle part of that bass line. Those hits with the cymbal are great. So yeah, 5 minutes. I mean, track is the right length. All the events are happening. We did not have that long space in the middle that some of the tracks a while ago had, where I was like, oh, the sounds are not changing. Somehow you've like overcome that and had things coming in and out and blending in a nice way that stays interesting and full. Wait, one more time on that bass line, right? So maybe lower, maybe 200 or 300 or something. There's a part of the bass line that has that zoom. That's the part I would like to just really pull to the front, if you could get to it. Alex B, definitely in between deep tech, deep house, and techno. Yes. I was gonna say your style is deep and warm. If that, it's like deep house, deep tech, but emotionally warm. If that can be a genre. That's the nats, like eighth notes. And I like the crunch on top of this. A little bit of hiss in there. It sounds kind of like a little dirty. All right, this one's good. Good to go. Oh man, Mindbender. All right, Notator 16C swing is the swing setting to get this kind of swing. That's a damn good tip. If you're into that bouncy house where it feels like you're waiting, just I think it's pushing one of the hi-hats a little bit late to get it. I'm not sure if that's right, but yeah, check out Notator 16C Swing. Cool. Shepard, that track can be in loop forever without noticing when it starts again. Yeah, and let me loop that forever, and I want to address an issue in the universe of production. This is coming from the comments where a couple people, I was looking at this thread, really interesting. So people are asking like, what's my style, or I would like to have a recognizable style. And then Shepard was saying like, do you have the same workflow, or how do you have your workflow fixed or not? And how it develops over time. Let me see if I missed any other comments. Oh, Matt Schultz. Pay attention when you come up with similar sounds in different synths and workflows, because that's your signature. Yeah, when you find yourself like reaching for no matter what tool you reach for, you gravitate towards a few sounds that feel right to you. I was having this conversation the other night at a synth meetup, and I was saying that, or we were saying in the conversation, it's funny that electronic music, everybody has their totally different way to approach it. But seriously, every time I ask somebody, why do you make a track that way? They always say, that's just how you do it. Like, everybody does it that way. I mean, most producers I meet, when you ask them, why did you pick that tool or why do you do that? Most of the time, a lot of people just say, oh, everybody uses that. I'm just doing it. That's just my baseline or something, but everybody uses the same stuff. Or, oh man, everybody's playing with that thing. And it's funny because no two people have the same stuff. Even if you have just a laptop with Ableton and two different people, they're going to come up with like completely different styles of what they think is like the main thing. Even for me, I'm like, oh yeah, kick drum and simpler. That's just what you do. Other people are like, no. It's hilarious. So everybody totally does have your own production style. And the best thing to do is just keep going and do a lot of what you're doing until you start to notice a theme, or maybe other people will tell you the theme that's completely obvious that you didn't notice. Yeah, last section is like a mix out something. Shepard's 10 questions, 10 people, 11 answers. There's only 10 kinds of people in the world. The ones who understand binary and the ones who don't. Is that how it goes? Yeah. And one of the mistakes that I made when I was producing at the beginning was trying too hard to fit into a genre, where I was trying to like literally copy what other, like Ronnie Size drum and bass. I was like, how did he make that? I want to copy that. Not like copy one exact song, but I wanted my tracks to feel like his tracks. And I was not going about it the right way. I was like not using enough layers, worrying too much about one sound. And my critical listening was like, I wasn't able to identify how many sounds were inside of a track. So I was like working with, I don't know, it was hard. So copying another style, technically, you can learn from it. But for developing your own style, it's much better to feel what feels right to you and then kind of be like merciless about cutting shit out. And that may sound like a paradox, but it can be. My production style is like, start with an idea, add as many new ideas as I can. And when I say add an idea, I mean I close my eyes, listen to the loop, imagine something that's not there, and then find a way to build that sound. Then after a while, I get to a point where I'm like, this is too crowded, this is trash. Or if I'm getting into that thing of like, oh, I want to have the song do this, and then this part over here, then it's like 4 different songs. That's where you have to be merciless and say, no, stick to the original idea, keep it going in a groove that feels really good. And by the time you work in a couple drum layers and a couple effect sweeps and a couple synths, you're at 5 minutes and stop. All those other good ideas that are just so cool, like whatever, copy, save as new file, use that in a new track, and don't try to jam a million ideas into one track. So that's my lecture. Denats. And DJ Waters has my own path in Frenchcore. Absolutely, man. I think you're coming from a much more of like a sound design, stacking up craziness level, and then you build out what those sounds do later, right? It's an interesting question. Shepard's how to sound like person, blah, 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 0 interesting to me. Yeah, I mean, you want to be able to have your stuff play in a set with other people's tracks and feel like it's functioning. There's basic stuff that has to work. The bass has to work. The mix has to sound good. But, okay, enough about that. Oh, speaking of, who is this track we got right here? Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to press play. Get ready. This is some 8D kick drum. The reverb sounds like metal. Burp. 1.1K. Okay. I'm gonna go on mono just to see what happens here. Wait, before I do that. There's our phase meter. And now we're in mono. See, it's nice, the kick drum doesn't go away in mono, which is really good. So I think if I'm right about this, you're keeping the center kick drum the same and just panning reverbs and the illusion of positioning. Okay, we're gonna listen to one speaker. That's only the right channel and it's centered. Okay, so there's the kick drum dropping out of one channel and coming back in. And now here's stereo again. That's interesting. So it is panning the whole kick drum, but when I summed it to mono, it didn't disappear. Yeah, music for headphones for sure. I like the vibe of it too. The title is perfect. Travel through space. The synths, like a cloud surfing in the future. It does sound good in headphones, yeah. Nice vibes. The bass line's a little low, actually. Once the kick comes in. In fact, I think this would be a candidate for some psytrance type treatment with the kick and the bass being like digga 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 digga. Because now I hear the upper bass going boom 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 boom, and that's a good pulse. But there's a sub, like a lower, like a quieter level that's going twice as fast, digga 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 digga, and that faster one's a little bit lost. That one peep at 1.1K, is still a little bit too loud for me. This one, bass line. I love what the synths are doing. That one, right there. It's too deep by itself. It's a good pulse. And then as soon as the kick drum comes in, that whole low layer doesn't quite make a lot of impact. That bass line sounds nice and clear with the kick drum. So let's roll back a little bit. This sub bass layer needs a decision to, I would suggest bringing up the high frequency of this one a bunch. Question mark. Well, If you had that low one, like making like more of like a click or something, to bring up that double speed pace, maybe. You know what I mean? And then when the upper bass line comes in, let me know what that sounds like to you, because the sub bass layer is just getting kind of lost. Okay. And you've still got the normal version that's not panned a lot. Okay. I mean, yeah, for most DJs, they don't want to play a kick drum that's panning left and right. Did my stream just stop? I think we're back on. I just had an internet glitch error. DJ Waters broke the internet. I was just saying it's a super beautiful, peaceful vibe. I love the track, just the synths and the flying around and feeling. Everything about it is super nice. So can we hear the straight version of all the synths panning and everything moving on top and just the kick drum in the center without so much reverb on it? That would make a difference. There's a couple sounds, 1.1K, that one sound that popped up and down, and deal with something about this sub layer right here. Maybe just turn it up a bunch louder and sidechain compress it harder with the kick drum. And Pivclit, I would like to hear your opinion on what you would do with that sub bass layer right here. Because the basic question is it's double speed compared to the other bass line, and that could make a really cool pulse on the bottom. But I'm wondering what you would do to treat that sub. Mindbender says it's cool, but don't overuse it. Just some elements and not in the full mix. It's a banger. Yes, lovely, lovely. What do you guys say, lovely jubbly? All right, now Praxis Mission. Something about work practice mission. I'll be there. I don't know. EQ flat, stereo wide. Here we go. This is the homework of the funk band. Hi. Sorry about that. They are doing construction outside. I don't know what. Yeah, my roadie's running around messing with cables, driving a forklift across the stream. Okay, so Matt. My first impression is the hi-hat has a little bit of it's too clear and bright. I would like dull that down and make it more like literally try to go for that warm analog drums, so the hi-hat is not as bright. The lead vocal's in a nice place. Bass is great, and the organ kind of below the voice and around it is really good. Come here, girl. Guitar is good. Yeah, see, the crash right there sounded really good. It was a little bit muffled and a little bit back. So just take the hi-hat, take the tone down, like this. That's just my high shelf EQ. Here's flat. And roll off the highs. Good job with the piano and guitar. That's like a Rhodes, probably electric. Yeah, Morton, that's a good way to say it. The hats should be smooth as the silk that you're taking off. Right here. Right. It's like late night. I would dearly love to understand how to fix this. Okay. It's back on. I don't know what's happening today. Yeah, okay, so Morton is saying almost there, mix is good, just the balance between the elements. And I think you could ride the vocal and bring it out emotionally as he's saying different things. The voice probably should reach a louder peak later in the song. The beginning, when it first came in, it was great. At this point, it feels like after this solo thing, right? Like this is kind of like a this could be a little louder vocal, but leave the other part where it was. Sorry about the stream cutting out. I don't know why that's happening. And then the end, it's super smooth. Nice ride. Nice song. You know, it's a great song to mix. I like the shaker. The hand percussion. Except I would take the conga and put it left. The shaker's over here, the conga and the shaker are right there. I would put the conga on one side opposite from the shaker. Because the left side is a little... I can hear the main kit, but not... Yeah, left side drums, I can hear the main drum kit, but not like the special percussion. So maybe put the conga over there. And Morton, I was about to say, reverb. The, whatever you're doing for a drum reverb. Maybe bring up the drum reverb a little bit. Oh, conga is to the right on the overheads. Well, if that's how they give it to you, then that's what you do is take the overhead drum picture and mix the individual drums to match that. Nice job, though. I mean, this sounds like a recording. This sounds like a band, you know, putting out a track. A couple little details. Organ. And this is the reverb tails. Cool. Nice job. I hope you got enough mix notes for that for you to update. Let's see if I can finish a couple more tracks before we get our internet cut off again. All right. This is the long traveling through Space Jam. DJ Waters, I'll be there. Ian getting into some lush territory lately. I like it. We have dissolved DJ Waters. Was that the same exact sound as the other track? Boop. Or wait, is this the same song as Traveling Through Space, but this is not the 8D? It is the same track. Right there. All right, no more comments for you. That's a great track. Favorite Waters track ever. Okay, cool. So this is, now we got some newbies from, it's Alex. It's the Alex B Show. This is your partner's music, is that right? And we're gonna give this a little review. I almost got confused on that last one. I was disoriented. I was traveling through space. I didn't know where my home planet was. Trying to mix your wife's track. All right, cool. I'll turn it up. Sorry guys, jeez. Yeah, it is a bit dark. This feels like the kick drum could come forward more. The rumble around it is nice and like, but I think the kick could be a little more of an attack through it. You know? Drum louder. After that sweep, the high frequency of the snare should be like equivalently loud as that sweep was. And these things feel louder than the snare. Okay, it feels like the percussion is panned so far apart that it's like totally separate drums. If you could maybe actually reduce the stereo field of the drums and work a little bit more on balancing the levels of each one, it could feel like the drums are coherent. And this bass echo that's really nice and wide is awesome. Let me go mono. And let me check that mid-range thing. That's a mid boost. Now we sweep. Gonna cut some of that rumbly part. Here's flat, and now I'm going to cut to kind of take some of the and let's go back to stereo. All right, the sounds are great. The sound design is great in stereo. So let the synths and bassline delay and echo stuff be wide and keep the drums a little closer. Yes, Morton, work on 300 to 600 hertz, and the kick drum needs to slap you in the face. Oh, I like what's happening here. Beautiful vocal. Little boost around 1K. A little louder with the vocal. That could really come up and just be like haunting on top. From a year ago? Hang on, sorry. Can you take some of the high frequency out of the reverb or the delay that's in the reverb? Because the dry signal is getting overlapped with some... I like that stereo effect a lot around the voice. Just go to the end of that stereo effect chain and take the high frequencies down a little bit, you know, 10K, 9K, something up in the S range. This is creepy. Oh, wow, wow. Yeah, the main thing is like get the bass rumble and the kick drum together, a little bit of that vocal thing, and the stereo on the drums. And it's gonna just come together like doof. I wonder, did the vocals come back again? I like that clicky one. Oh. Yeah, when the ride comes in, it should stay in. Wait. Hold on. That ride pattern. Okay, get ready. Okay, right there, when that fast when that new percussion comes in, make that one louder and keep that for like at least 8 bars or 16 before the ride comes. And then when the ride comes in, that should be steady on every beat and not be a break. When the ride stops, it's really like, and then it comes back and it's like, it sounds like it's not right to me. I mean, maybe, but that's, once the ride comes in, it should be doing this so you can lock into it and just be like, yeah, that's always a hypnotic kind of a sound. And that little tick, I think, could be louder. The synths are the strongest part. I haven't not any comment on those. They're all good. Okay, that bell sound is fighting against the vocal a bit. I would put... Hold on. Right here, I would get the vocal louder and that bell sound. Don't let the bell overtake the vocal. Yeah, maybe at 6:30 when the vocal comes in, just don't have the bell. I love the bass pulse. Creepy dark. Wow. So most of the edits we're talking about, I think, are things you could do by just muting a section, maybe copy and pasting the ride part a little bit on that, and then some volume and pan stuff, and this will be good. Now the bell thing at the end. This part is great. And the background harmony synths. Nice in the mix. And it has the basic core simplicity that a track needs to like be 7 minutes where you're just in it and it's like things come and go, but the basic structure or vibe is like solid the whole way. Is that 132? Nice ending. All right, cool. Absolutely workable. Get a couple of little edits on that and bring it back for Saturday. And that's going to be nice. And Anxious version 2. This is brand new. Is that right? Snare out at the end, you think? I didn't feel that. I think the snare was okay. EQ flat, stereo width wide, last track of the day. Everybody, if you're new to this whole thing, go to courses.mixtexture.com and learn how to make your music sound better. And that site's getting updated with some new stuff, which is going to be even more cool. And I just had a crazy hangout with some Ableton trainers and other amazing teachers in the last couple of days and got like tons of ideas on what to do with the user-student journey to make it more fun. So I'm really psyched about that. In other words, hands-on lessons, project packs, activities where you learn by doing it inside live. I talk about it all the time. It's my favorite thing. So come on in and get some. I'm waiting for the kick drum to drop. Are we going to get a big loud kick? That bass is cool. There we go. Okay, not so much reverb on the hi-hats. I'm gonna go a little bigger with the bass EQ. And I realize I'm in headphones, so, you know. But just a little lift on the low end. And I think this bass line could actually come down a little bit. Oh my God. And the fast one, that could come up a little bit, like buzzier. All that shit around 2K is so good. I'm gonna leave this up like this. This track is crazy. Oh my God, that pitch was cool. Now I'm looking for that bass line EQ. Actually, I'm gonna just start this over. I want to EQ in that bass. So I tried to boost up that, I boosted up that bass line to find the one really resonant part that was like around 300 or something. There's 170, so 340. Now let's go back in. Alex B is getting grimy. Who is that? This is amazing. Even just these two sounds, like kick and the buzz. If we get a SoundCloud ad right now, I'm gonna lose my freaking mind. You put some erosion on the ride. I don't know if I missed that. What? Those stereo delays are cool. Here we go. This little guy. Thank you, Alex B. So for some spots to look for the womb. 160, 220, 270, 280. Around there it's a little boxy. I think that hi-hat's a little bit too loud. You could really get the buzzy brightness from that fast synth and have the hi-hats kind of inside it. So that like zing it, zing it, zing it, zing it is like the brighter part, you know? Ear candy stuff is cool. All right, that bass line jumped up crazy loud right here, right? So maybe you had like a compressor on everything, and when all the other sounds stopped, the compressor released and the bass got loud. It sounded like that. So watch that bass volume spike in the empty part. You gotta automate your compressor makeup gain. Compressor. I just said that. Compressor makeup gain. Compressor pressure. Right here. So if that synth is nice and bright, it'll fill up space where the drums don't need to be too shiny, you know? And there's back to flat. That sound is the best sound. Wait. Okay, this synth is the main character right here. That's too loud. The horror movie like sword sound, like you just got your head cut off. It's a cool sound, but don't let it overtake my buzzy. This track is going to be legendary. Is this where it comes in? That's going to make people happy. That bass line goes do-do-do-do-do-do. What does it do? That's a crazy bass line. It's like a pentatonic bass solo thing. Yeah, that shwow. Some of the little ear candies are like a little too much like slashing horror movie effects that don't need to be quite that big. Having trouble with the low end bass, yeah? Well, that low end bass is very resonant. And the bass line is not super clear in the upper part. Do you have a sub bass as a separate thing, or is this one sound that's holding the low end and the mids? Because you might need to separate the bass line to just have a sub that's like whoop, whoop, and then have the middle part of the bass line much brighter and higher up, possibly. As a sub bass, it has way too much at 280 and 300, so I think you gotta claim 2 channels for this bass sound to get it working right. Take the sub, just filter it down to like 140 or some shit, and have it sidechained so it's coming through like so where the sub is coming in between the kick, it's like a clean pressure, and where you want that bass fill, What's that little thing? Yeah. That was a cool ear candy thing that was like chugga 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 chugga. So many good sounds in here. Yep. Here it comes again. This one. So the clap or the snare drum buildup right there is a little light. Could be a little harder, like louder. I just EQ'd it a little bit, but I think you could really push the snare in there. And then that impact is like, wow. Subtle details. The track is halfway there, if not more than halfway. Yeah, and then you got to clean up the difference between the sub bass and the lower bass. Groove is definitely crazy. That tells you everything you need to know about those two sounds. And that's a cool synth. That'll be a cool stereo synth for like think of it like the upper part of the bass line is like an atmospheric, wide, like woof, 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 kind of a space synth, you know? And then you don't have to like muck up the sub and that bass line thing together. It'll probably be a lot easier to mix. And this shit is just great, man. The pulse. Very many happinesses. Okay, that's gonna be it for track feedback, everybody. I need to get back on the Mixitecture label project. It's almost May, and we're gonna put out a compilation in just like 5 weeks. So I'm gonna be checking in the drive folders for submissions, and we're gonna do another meeting next week to listen to what we have and decide how to split it up. Actually, tell me what you think right now. Do you guys can we do a meeting on Saturday after track feedback to talk label, look at stuff, and get into some of the promo stuff? Because I don't want to drop this. I don't want to drop it for too long. So I would like to do Saturday afternoon, little label jam to listen to music. Let me know. I started over again. Let me know if that works for you. And especially on the topic of promo with Instagram and whatnot. Okay, you won't be there, but definitely check the chat. I think I'm going to need to start a new channel or a new Instagram profile because I have a whole promo thing planned for Mixitecture with courses and lessons and specific stuff to lead people into learning how to make the beats. And when it's time to publish as releases, I think we talked about this before. We'll talk about it again, but I think it might be better to have an actual separate channel that's only for release stuff, music stuff, audio, listener, audience, perception. Matt Schultz is unsure about Saturday. Well, it's going to happen after Friday, and I'm pretty sure it's we will still exist. Bivbit 99% be there. Okay, I'll bring it up again on Saturday and organize my thoughts. As for me, Alex B, dude, when this drops, people are going to lose their mind. The only thing, I don't agree that it sounds anxious at all. To me, it feels happy. It's like, we're not like happy like birthday party, but like makes you want to drive fast in a good way because you're not late. You just like driving fast. There it is. Okay, good. That bass lick will be so much easier to mix in a higher register when the sub is not playing it. And you know what? Specifically, I'm so glad that looped again. That bass sound should have a shorter sustain time, a shorter time, so the notes are more like a pluck. A minute ago, I said think of it like an atmospheric layer. So it's up above the sub, you know, but if you have those notes shorter, when you go to play that fast run of notes, exactly. If you have those notes shorter duration and more of a plucky attack, so like short attack, short decay time, and a lower sustain level, and then a shorter release on the ADSR, then it'll be like almost like a bass player clanging metal frets. Like really get that sound as plucky as you can, and it'll work with the rhythm really well to define the rhythmic pulse of the sub bass notes in between the kick drum. And then it can have that tone of like oof, 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 like an atmospheric mid. But if it has like a plucky front thing to really bring out the rhythm of the micro timing, it'll be good. Drop the decay on that. Yeah. Drop the decay. Yeah. So then when the sub, yeah, you got it. Okay, cool. All right, thanks everybody. This is the end of track feedback. You get no more feedback today. Here's what I'm going to be working on. I'm even more encouraged to have live hand drums on top of bass beats. We did that on Monday night, and it's such a good vibe. A little bit of like a chorus and like slapback delay on the drums. It's like craziness. Yes. Good note. And that Mindbender thing about the notation 116C swing, groove pool. All right, bye.